All right, it's late summer here, and I just got done planting my first two fall plots of the year. I planted big and beastie on the other side of this farm. Now in this little spot, I'm actually going to plant wild game buffet, and I'll tell you why. This is a little bit of an opening in the timber, surrounded by big hardwoods, so it gets a fair amount of shade. There's a little bit of sunlight reaching the plot, obviously, just enough, but it gets more shade than any of the other areas. And anytime you're looking at a spot that's in a little opening in the timber like that, you're going to need something that's going to be pretty shade tolerant, that's going to be able to grow in shady conditions. And usually you're looking at some type of clover blend. The wild game buffet is made up of 5 different clovers along with alfalfa, so it's going to do well in a little shaded area. But it also has a small percentage of brassicas to help act as basically a nurse crop. So it's got some forage turnips, some rape, and some radish that's going to provide good food this fall while the clovers establish their root system, and the clover, I expect, and the clover and the alfalfa will be better next year. That's usually how it works when you're planting clover this time of year. So with the wild game buffet, you're usually looking about 8 pounds per acre. As far as the seeding rate, this is a ½ acre spot, so I'm going to be planting just 1 4-pound bag. I got this all nice and tilled up a couple days ago. I borrowed the tractor from the landowner. I rented a tiller from the local store. And with this being a first-year fruit plot, I wanted to have a nice seed bed established. But you don't always have to do that. You know, that small seed with the brassicas and the clovers, a lot of times will do just fine. The rain will work it down into the ground. As long as you get a nice, good kill of whatever was in the plot before, whether it's grass, weeds, whatever. As long as you kill that off, sometimes you can just broadcast that seed right on top. You don't actually have to till it. But since I was able to access the equipment, I went ahead and got a nice seed bed to get us started here. So I expect this to do pretty well. I'm excited about this spot. I'm gonna get to broadcasting, and then we'll pack it in once we're done getting the seed on the ground. All right, another plot checked off the list. I'm excited to have wild game buffet here. I think this is going to be a great daylight movement spot. My plan is to put a tree stand somewhere in this area behind me. It's not going to be the easiest spot to hunt, but nevertheless, it's going to be a nice, nutritious food source for the deer. It's going to be close to their bedding. They're going to feel comfortable coming out into it. It's just going to keep the deer around this area and keep them close on this property. So excited to see how this one grows. I think we got rain coming in the forecast in about 2 days. Should be very timely, and excited to see how this one comes up.